Hey all, I hope everything is well. Okay, so what is this video about? What is this new title? And what exactly do I mean by saying new map, new meta question mark? At the moment, there's a lot of different modded maps created by the community such as Derail, Essekar, Wolning, Chimsy, Rostau, and many more. Even popular Namalsk is considered community map since it's only available for modded DayZ. Having another new map created by the community is not a big deal, so what makes it new meta? Why is it different from others? All of these new maps I mentioned before are mainly full maps that can fit 60, 70, 80 players and are meant to be played in the same ways as Chernarus and Livonia is. Same meta. As some of you may already know from watching my streams, there was a new map released few days ago by the same creator that developed Derail map, which is super popular and well known within the DayZ community. This map is called Swan Island. The whole idea and purpose of this map is to be PvP only map. It's pretty small, its size is only 2 km by 2 km. It is intended to be configured and used in PvP, so it's basically like a dedicated map for DayZ Deathmatch. Okay, so what is the big deal? Deathmatch in DayZ has been around for months and months and it's nothing new or nothing special. So this is where it gets interesting and this is where my thoughts go crazy. Yes, deathmatch servers and configurations have been around for quite some time, but they're all configured the same. They all still take place in the main maps like Chernarus, Livonia or Namalsk, and it would simply be configured where everyone would spawn around Northwest Airfield, for example, with custom loadouts where you can spawn and go shoot other people basically. This is all cool and community likes it as it became very popular over time and there are more and more of these deathmatch settings around. So what makes this map different and why do I even talk about it and make a separate video about it? Here's my opinion. Again, this may sound very far-stretched and unrealistic, and the main reason for it, in my opinion, is lack of players in the DayZ community overall to have these thoughts become true. But what if this new Swan Island map is the first map made solely for PvP purposes and this map holds about 20, maybe 25 players? It is small on purpose, it has some wooded tree lines, it has some open fields, an airfield, some barracks, little town and even industrial. Everything that normal full DayZ map has, but it's all made in smaller manner. In my opinion, this opens doors to more new and upcoming small PvP maps like this one. Maybe in some time we will have 5 or 10 small maps like this, with different game modes such as Capture the Flag or King of the Hill, Sentient Destroy, and other game modes. Maybe this is the way DayZ could become more competitive, attract new player base in small and different maps to just play these game modes instead of only having main survival experience. Last year's DayZ has become much more popular for its PvP aspect rather than survival, as modders kept pushing new content such as new guns, new armors and other stuff that is centered around PvP, combined with these deathmatch servers that I mentioned before. With last few patches from DayZ developers, we can still see that their main focus for this game is survival experience, as developers focus on changes and new features towards the survival concept. The way they addressed PvP was to change all ballistics and armor metrics and values to offset and destroy the balance that PvP in DayZ had for years. Many players quit the game after that, especially the older ones. Imagine spending years and having thousands of hours on this game, learning the gun mechanics, learning the damage system, finding ways to make it work for you and not against you, hoping to be more skilled and more experienced than other players that you meet, and one day all of a sudden you lose all this earned advantage and every player in the game become even, regardless if you have 5,000 or 500 hours. PvP change was massive and in my opinion it wasn't necessary simply because there were so many other things that they could have worked on instead of this. Anyway, with the new game progressing and the content that modders are pushing, it's clearly that future of this game will continue to shift towards PvP and fade away from survival game. This is normal, PvP is simply more interesting and can attract bigger player base than just survival. For example, most popular servers are the ones geared towards PvP and PvP content instead of, let's say, RP and PvE, which still exist in this game, which is awesome, but clearly not as big as PvP. What if little PvP maps become new meta and we can have, for example, multiple different maps with different game modes, some competitive action where you can see one clan or faction play against another in a competitive manner. Imagine having 5 different maps like this all hosted in Capture the Flag mode, or example, where you can join and play against other team. Of course, this may be far stretched, but hey, if 5 years ago someone told us that we will have helicopters and aircraft carrier ships in DayZ, we all would have said you're out of your mind. But this is how far modding community took this game. Yes, I know, all this talk is basically exclusive to PC only and console cannot have any of it, unfortunately. But in my opinion, this is still relevant. Like I mentioned previously, at the moment, DayZ attracts new players mostly for the PvP and not survival experience, so I can see and hope that this new meta becomes real and gets pushed even further. Why? Simply because PvP games tend to do better than survival games overall, and it interests bigger player base. So in the end of the day, I would hope that this new meta, if it ever happens and becomes real, would attract more players towards DayZ overall, which is always good for the existing players, for game developers financially, and the whole community in general. So yeah, this is what I mean by new map, new meta. This is only my general thoughts and expectations. I personally would not mind if the game continued going more towards PvP aspect rather than survival, simply because it attracts more players. Last couple months for DayZ were rough. We can clearly see the general population drop by maybe 30 or 40% at this point, and there needs to be something done to bring back these regular players back to the game. No matter how far this game will go towards the PvP, there will always be survival and PvP sides to this game. They will be just less popular. I think clan versus clan competitive games in small PvP type of maps could be the new thing for DayZ that players would be interested to come back for, and maybe at some point this would even grow to the point where we would have bigger player base and maybe even some events or tournaments where one group could play another group in a competitive manner. This is probably just me dreaming about something that will never happen in this game, but I definitely would like to see this new meta become real and push this game to new highs, because if nothing happens, then we will most likely see new lows shortly. If any of you are interested to try this map out, on ENDZONE we have currently hosting deathmatch server for this map with 30 players. When you spawn and you loot a little bit to gain some weapons and go straight to PvP against other players. We call it loot and shoot mode. You can find this server by simply typing ENDZONE to any of your game launchers, and you will notice ENDZONE PvP Island server with this map hosted. Feel free to join, and maybe you can even share your feedback about this map in the comment section of this video. Anyway, this was something that I was thinking about when this map came out, and my thoughts led to this video, as I wanted to share them and see what you guys think. Would something like this ever be possible on a game like this in your opinion? Let me know it in the comment section. I would love to discuss this with you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like button and subscribe to my channel if it's not too much to ask. I wish you all the best as always, and I hope to see you all on the next one.